Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh, and in this series we're discovering the lore, backstory and characters of Overwatch's heroes, including more detail through their in-game voice lines and interactions. Before any map starts and during the game on various triggers, Overwatch heroes chatter with and react to each other in some funny in-game ways. These give us some great extra insights into hero character, interests and backstories too. In this video we're looking at Mercy's story through her interactions with fellow heroes and the world around her. Child prodigy turned brilliant scientist and a staunch advocate for peace, Dr. Angela Ziegler has always stood up for what she believes in. Previously a key figure in Overwatch, where she made many medical breakthroughs and scientific advances until the organisation's downfall, Mercy is now helping people in war and crisis zones across the world. As a Second Omnic Crisis appears to take its grip on the planet, whether Ziegler will pilot her Valkyrie swift response suit to aid the vigilante ex-Overwatch operatives fighting Talon currently remains to be seen. Firstly, we'll run through Mercy's lore and backstory. We know little about Angela Ziegler's early years. At some point in her childhood, sadly, she became an orphan, her parents dying through war, which would shape her attitudes to conflict and violence in the years ahead. We don't know for sure what conflict caused the death of Mercy's parents, but when the Omnic Crisis started, she would have been 7 or so years old, so it's possible that her parents may have been some of the victims of Omnic aggression worldwide. As Omnica Corporation's Omnium production facilities reactivated and went rogue, Angela would have grown up in the time of war and crisis, perhaps being just 11 years old when Overwatch's strike team brought an end to it. Whether driven on by the deaths of her parents or through a natural talent. While growing up, a young Angela must have showed signs of being a child prodigy with a brilliant scientific mind. As the first strike team, led by Gabriel Reyes, succeeded in stopping the Omnic Crisis, the world celebrated. His team that brought peace to the world would become the leadership of Overwatch, with Jack Morrison as strike commander, Ana Amari as second in command, and Reyes moved sideways to command Blackwatch, Overwatch's special operations unit, and they would usher in 2 decades of increasing prosperity and peace. It seems possible at this point that Angela may have had some contact with Overwatch before formally joining the organisation later in her life. This picture shows a younger Mercy, perhaps 17 or so years old, with a young Faria, later to be known as Farah Amari, and a lot of Overwatch members, some familiar to us, some unknown for now. Whether Mercy had contact with Overwatch or not before she served, her star continued to rise. She became a highly skilled surgeon and rose to become the head of the field at a prominent Swiss hospital. While still pursuing her scientific research, she then pioneered a highly significant medical breakthrough. Medical science in the Overwatch world had already advanced hugely in recent years, particularly around human enhancement and augmentation, with the still classified but widely acknowledged American Soldier Enhancement Program being a rather public example of such, through the exploits of Jack Morrison and Gabriel Reyes. Instead of militarised applications like the USA had developed, Angela's work in applied nanobiology was far more peaceful in nature. She developed techniques on the cutting edge of medicine at the time that radically improved the treatment of life-threatening injuries and illnesses. These huge strides in research with practical and beneficial results rapidly caught the attention of Overwatch. In the years following the first Omnic Crisis, Overwatch had experienced a rapid rise in profile, prominence and funding. Celebrated by the world as heroes, Strike Commander Jack Morrison and his team took the opportunity to try and improve the future of humanity. Not only serving as a peacekeeping force, Morrison made Overwatch an engine for innovation and progress, attracting leading scientists and minds in various disciplines, who would work on everything from combating natural disasters and climate change to even space exploration. Angela Ziegler, a trailblazer in her own field, seemed to be an obvious candidate to join this scientific crusade. Angela would have been torn on whether to join, however. The circumstances of her parents' deaths had left her opposed to violence, and she was morally at odds with what she saw as Overwatch's militaristic approach to attempting to keep world peace. In spite of this, Angela made a pragmatic decision. Recognising that the stature, technology, funding and platform that Overwatch could bring could allow her to help humanity on a much larger scale than surgery in a single hospital, she accepted the position of head of medical research. As Overwatch dealt with warmongering dictators, rogue omnics, terrorism and natural disasters amongst other things, Angela's research shifted towards applying her healing expertise in the field for frontline medicine and care. One of the results was the Valkyrie swift response suit, when, combined with the Caduceus staff, could give its operator excellent mobility in challenging environments to help and look after the injured. Ever the active doctor, Ziegler would pilot the suit herself on many Overwatch missions. One such mission could have been when the life of Genji was saved. Left dying by his brother Hanso, Ziegler's intervention kept him alive. He would then be offered a chance of life in exchange for his help, but it would only be possible through extensive cyberization with adding of mechanical systems to his body. We don't know what Mercy would have felt about this proposal, and indeed how much she was involved in Genji's rebuilding. Rebuilding his body in exchange for his aid seems to be against her moral code. Angela would find herself having to be the moral conscience of Overwatch on more than one occasion. Often at odds with her superiors and the organisation's overarching aims, Ziegler found herself in positions where her moral code would often be challenged, along with her research aims. Her ethical position on the use of her work was made very clear in a conversation around Torbjorn's prototype designs for what would later become Anna's biotic rifle. The tone of Torbjorn's comment, "Despite what my esteemed colleague will surely suggest," makes it sound as though this wasn't the first time Mercy had voiced her ethical concerns. Ziegler's warnings about the start of a slippery slope to her work being made into a weapon were to be proven true, as this technology was adapted beyond its non-violent origins, and Anna's current biotic rifle and grenade, with both healing and damaging properties, exist as proof of this today. These weren't the only conflicts taking place within Overwatch. Towards the latter end of its existence, as Mercy strived to maintain her research's medical purity, Overwatch was under attack from within and without. Externally, allegations of mismanagement, negligence, corruption, and weapons proliferation, amongst other things, caused public scrutiny to grow, and within, rogue elements within Blackwatch sought to bring down the organisation and turn it to their own ends. As a highly secret UN investigation started to look into these claims, Overwatch would seal its own demise, with the destruction of the Swiss headquarters caused by a confrontation between Strike Commander Morrison and Blackwatch Commander Reyes, laying waste to 2 decades of achievements in a very short period of time. In her senior position as head of medical research, and after the presumed death of Anna Amari in Overwatch's closing years, Ziegler would have been at the heart of Overwatch's challenging times in those final months. She, and others, had been trying to heal the broken relationship and friendship between Morrison and Reyes, but to no avail. In the Inquisition and post-mortem that was to come after Overwatch's downfall, Mercy was asked to provide evidence to a United Nations committee hearing, which was revealed by Olympia Shaw of Atlas News. The tension became more pronounced as time went on, Ziegler said to the committee in evidence. "I tried to mend things, we all did. But sometimes, when the closest bonds break, all you can do is pray that you stay out of the crossfire." When Overwatch had finally dissolved, the peerless healer dedicated herself to helping people affected by conflict and war. Spending most of her time looking after the injured and in need in crisis areas around the world, Mercy's last known whereabouts were potentially in the Middle East, as shown in Recall, when Winston's tracker reveals her to be in the region of modern-day Iran or Iraq. As the agent's summons has been sent out by Winston, is Angela going to answer? Would she return to work with her former colleagues again? Or does she feel that the organisation she had many personal conflicts with shouldn't be resurrected to combat today's threats in the world? One thing's for sure, wherever vulnerable people are in need, Mercy will be watching over them.
Valkyrie online!
From her various voice lines and quotes, Mercy's a caring person who truly believes in helping people.
Helping those in need is its own reward. Don't thank me, just doing my job.
And her moral nature shows through as well.
I choose not to seek revenge. All I've ever wanted is to save lives.
She almost gets a bit frustrated by combat being the cause of her work, and shows her dislike of violence too.
Start a fight and this is what happens. Another patient for my operating table. Must violence always be the solution?
When she's unable to help or gets there too late, it clearly affects her.
Damn it, I couldn't get there in time.
Due to what they have to deal with, the highs and the lows, medics and doctors often have quite a sharp sense of humour, and Mercy is no different. When she solo kills someone in a duel, she comes out with this funny burn.
You might not want to tell your friends about that.
And on a melee kill, she comes out with this gem.
Say ah!
Mercy can be quite sharp as well when she has a mind to.
You've been discharged. Flatlined.
And when she calls for help, she definitely sees the irony of the situation.
Medic! Wait, that's me.
And in the situation where one Mercy gets resurrected by another, she can definitely see the funny side.
So that's what it feels like. Now this is a role reversal.
Now, being Dr. Ziegler, of course, Mercy has a whole bunch of medical and doctor-sounding references, including a few cliches, but they're still all fun.
Did someone call a doctor? Please state the nature of the medical emergency. I'll send you my consultation fee. Take 2 and call me in the morning. Need a second opinion?
Okay, it's time for Learn a Bit of German with Mercy.
Verstanden.
That, of course, means understood.
Entschuldigung.
Entschuldigung is excuse me.
Mercy im Bereitschaftsdienst.
That one's Mercy on emergency duty.
Ich kann keine Wunder wirken. Naja, meistens nicht.
And in another translation of one of her English lines, this means I'm not a miracle worker. Well, not always.
Ich bin da.
Ich bin da, I am there.
Die Wunder der modernen Medizin.
Not huge prizes for this one, that's the wonders of modern medicine.
Auf einer Skala von 1 bis 10. Wie fest tut es weh?
Last but not least, that's on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does it hurt? Just a quick one, in the Mercy reference game, can you recognise what film this is referencing?
I concur.
Now that's actually a line from Catch Me If You Can. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio, he plays a conman who spends a bunch of time masquerading as a pilot, but for a short time he masquerades as a doctor in a hospital. DiCaprio's character says "I concur" to try and bluff his way past other doctors and students who are offering their opinions to him. To finish off Mercy's lines, I couldn't help but include the awesome line from her Sigrun Valkyrie skin,
Till Valhalla.
and of course her Imp and Devil Mercy skin resurrect line as well.
Heroes never die, for a price.
Quick fact for you, some of you, if you haven't played in beta, might not have known that Mercy actually had a switch in voiceover just before the game launched. I keep an archive of as many old voice lines and patches as I can, so here's a quick few of her old VO's lines for comparison.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how is your pain? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As an ex-senior member of Overwatch, Mercy knows a whole bunch of the original agents and commands, and we can learn more about both her character and people around her through her pre-game interactions. As colleagues in Overwatch, Mercy would have worked with Rares, perhaps in the field, but definitely on research and development. His name is on the prototype biotic rifle communication that Torbjorn sent, for example. When the two reunite, Mercy is surprised at what Rares has become.
What happened to you?
You tell me, Doc.
Now before I go any further, I'm going to quickly interrupt this video for a bit of lore busting a lore myth and a few incorrect beliefs. It's been an often cited community line that Mercy used to have a voice line in beta, "This is not what I intended, Rares," to which Reaper replied, "You knew exactly what you were doing." Now, a lot of people who like the idea of an evil or grey moral Mercy would base theories off of this, but it's been confirmed by Blizzard on Twitter that the line I mentioned never actually existed. Example of apparently how headcanon can become community urban myth. So, this Reaper line was in the files, but Mercy's apparently never was. Now what I reckon could have happened in the actual story, speculation here entirely, is that some kind of healing or biotic technology could have failed, clashed with Rares' soldier enhancement program, changed body, and somehow caused his current state. Mercy did not have to be involved in that. That's a really big story, and it'll be an amazing one to see when it hopefully is told in future. One thing though, Mercy's line didn't exist. Okay, on with the interactions. Mercy clearly fought on some missions alongside Reinhardt and clearly has a little bit of concern for the old man's welfare, but Reinhardt's not having any of it.
Reinhardt, don't you think it's time you hung it up? You're not getting any younger.
Never. I will fight to my last breath.
I don't see Reinhardt retiring anytime soon. Mercy's never really scared to voice her opinion, and she certainly isn't when it comes to Reinhardt's current vigilante law-bringing that he's engaged in with his squire and companion Brigitte around Germany.
Reinhardt, I don't approve of you dragging that poor girl around on your adventures.
Reinhardt, I don't approve of you dragging that poor girl around on your adventures.
Brigitte has made her choice. I would have her at my side.
Mercy's intervention certainly saved Genji's life when he was left on the brink of death by Hanzo, and the two certainly served together in Overwatch until Genji left the organisation after he'd finished dismantling his family's criminal empire. In the meantime, Genji's found himself with the help of Zenyatta, but Genji and Mercy probably haven't seen each other since he left, as they have a catch-up when they interact.
You seem well, Genji.
I am a different man now. I am whole.
When Genji's revived by Mercy, he shows he doesn't forget the help that she gave him.
You've rescued me again, Dr. Ziegler.
And when Genji sees Mercy die on his team, you can occasionally hear him be very sad at the fact.
Angela!
Mercy's actually got a return version of this in the game files, although I don't think it's live in the game, on the PTR, as of September 2016. Let's see if it makes it into game.
Genji, I was too late.
Mercy might have met Farah when they were both young, if this is a photo from their past, but the two certainly hadn't talked in any depth recently, if this interaction is anything to go by.
Your mother always hoped you'd follow in her footsteps.
She did? Funny, she never mentioned that to me.
Now, this was a lot more prominent before Ana had released, and this was an interesting response from Farah at the time, hinting that Ana might have tried to dissuade Farah from following in her footsteps. Farah's comic mission statement seems to show that she remembers her mum talking about negative aspects of combat and operations rather than positive things. Since Ana's release, her origin trainer's explanation of her desires for Faria's future, and the new interactions that came with Ana on her release, we now know that the two probably have reconciled the tension that used to exist between them. Mercy and Farah do have one more fun interaction, I believe. Rocket Queen and Battle Angel do make an excellent team of heroes in-game, combat effectiveness wise. Anyone heard this one?
Let's keep the skies clear together.
Mercy was clearly in Overwatch when Winston graduated and officially joined, if this photo's anything to go by.
Winston, are you experiencing any issues with your genetic therapy?
Other than a crippling addiction to peanut butter?
Now remember, Winston was a test subject for genetic engineering and therapy on the moon. As Mercy and Winston have worked together in Overwatch, maybe she helped support him with any ongoing side effects? Mercy and Ana must have served together for a while in the latter stages of Overwatch's existence before the fateful mission on which Ana lost her eye and dropped off the grid. When they meet up before a match starts, Mercy immediately, as always, wants to help. It's in her nature.
You know, Ana, there are procedures we could look into to repair your eye.
You're very kind. But I'm comfortable with who I am now. It's a good reminder.
Now, it's interesting that Ana's happy with how she is now. She sees her eye as a reminder of her change of character. Mercy, however, isn't entirely forgiving of Ana. When they interact as well before a game, she is not happy about Ana's use of her biotics.
Ana, I don't approve of what you've done with my biotic technology.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but it suits my purposes now.
There's definitely an interesting story there. We know that from the diagram that Torbjorn sent over and the conversation around it, the rifle that Ana has is the realisation of some of Mercy's concerns back in the Overwatch days. I wonder who actually modified Ana's rifle, and how Ana actually managed to pick it up and acquire it. A story for another day, I'm sure. I love the interactions between Mercy and May. Both have clearly met at some point in the past, and the key thing that they decide to talk about when meeting again for the first time is anti-aging treatments.
Dr. Ziegler, I don't think you've aged a day since I last saw you.
And neither have you, May.
And funnily, when they catch up again, Mercy comes right back at May as well.
May, you haven't aged a day. What's your secret?
Cryostasis, but I'm not sure if I'd recommend it.
Now remember, May was frozen in cryostasis in an abandoned eco Watchpoint Antarctica, when a storm cut off the base, supplies and help from arriving. She was the only survivor when the cryogenic chamber was discovered. It's a really sad story, so remember that the next time you feel ill will towards any Mace. Either way, I'd probably say it's not an anti-aging regime to be recommended. Definitely with May on that one. Now, given that these two both like a bit of researching and inventing, I figured there'd be more between Mercy and Torbjorn. She's quite close to him in a friendly sense in pictures so far. I don't think this is in the game right now, and I'll be honest with you, I can't remember the precise interaction from beta if it was, but in beta there was a line from Torbjorn to Mercy.
Doc, I've been having the worst headaches.
Now, I can't remember what Mercy's response to Torbjorn was here. I'm not 100% sure it was this, so this isn't official. Here's a Mercy response that I can't remember the pair for, that I just find funny. It would fit.
There's no prescription to treat what you have.
Mercy piloted her Valkyrie swift response suit on a fair few Overwatch missions, so she's not been stuck in the lab all the time. But the only map in game at the moment that Mercy has direct interactions with is Watchpoint Gibraltar. When Mercy spawns on the Watchpoint, she's reminded of what she used to work with when she was in Overwatch.
I'm not used to state-of-the-art facilities these days.
Probably as a stark contrast to the war zones in which she's working now. And again on Watchpoint Gibraltar, Mercy reminisces as to the problems that Overwatch faced and reflects on whether it has a place in today's world.
Overwatch was shut down for a reason. Maybe it's best it stay that way.
Thanks very much for tuning in to my Hero Voiceline and Stories series. Check out the playlist linked here on the left for more videos like this of all the different heroes of Overwatch. We've just got 3 or so to go. If you like this video, please hit that like button below, subscribe, comment with what lines you enjoy most, and hero you'd like to see covered next. Big thanks to all of the talented artists whose art was featured in Mercy's lore section. Thanks for giving me permission to use your work, and do check out all of the links to their portfolios and DeviantArts in the description below. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.